Even though Sony forced Shift Up to censor graffiti in Stellar Blade because of perceived racism, there are still a ton of people excited about this title's release, except for the game journalists. They are still fuming over this release. They have continuously tried to attack it from every angle they can, and now we have some ridiculous articles releasing from Games Radar saying Stellar Blade puts Eves in some incredibly stupid, sexy outfits. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, obviously, when it comes to Stellar Blade, there has been a lot of news surrounding it, and over just the past 24 to 48 hours, we have heard a lot of questionable things. There are rumors circulating that they ended up censoring outfits in the day one patch. We, of course, know that the graffiti was altered and Sony forced Shift Up to change it because of perceived racism, and we as fans over the years have definitely learned to not trust journalists, and the people who have early access codes are shills and journos. So I would take everything with a grain of salt at this point until release and until fans can actually get their hands on the game. I will be streaming the release tomorrow on launch day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm very excited for the game still, but of course there are a lot of outlets who have released articles attacking this game, and now we have Games Radar saying Stellar Blade puts Eve in some incredibly stupid sexy outfits that hurt the game's story, which is an absurd claim to make because obviously if you're playing a game for the story, an outfit doesn't really affect that. Yes, of course, you might think, oh, this outfit is a little bit ridiculous for the situation a character might be in, but at the same time, that doesn't ruin the actual story, but apparently it does to Austin Wood from Games Radar. It says much of the pre-release discussion of Stellar Blade has revolved around the appearance of its protagonist Eve. The only reason why that was the situation is because there are journos who have been attacking the game, and we as fans, while yes, we're highlighting Eve's very, very beautiful assets and Taki's beautiful assets and just how attractive all of the characters in this game are, we also have tried to talk simply about the gameplay like when the demo released, but instead of actually having discussions surrounding the game, I have had, and a lot of people have had to continuously defend Stellar Blade, not just because of the gameplay, but of course because of the outfits and the attractive lead characters, because there are so many people out there who have tried to cancel this game. It says Stellar Blade has become a new stage for an old debate. It's been held up as a game for men of culture, a throwback to a time when games were brave and sexy, and as determined by a vocal crowd that seems hell-bent on ignoring how sexy games currently are and have been. This year we've seen Rebirth, Infinite Wealth, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and First Build of Hades 2, a mere handful of the latest amazingly sexy games. I disagree. I don't really think Infinite Wealth had a lot of sex appeal. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, while yes, we did have, Tifa, who is a busty beauty, we still did have her censored outfit, and we didn't really have any revealing outfits for characters like Aerith, except for, of course, bikinis, but I wouldn't necessarily say that those are like majorly sexy games. There are real women who wear bikinis not to be sexy, but to be comfortable in the situation that they're in, which is, of course, swimming. In Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, while again, yes, we did have attractive characters, it wasn't this level, right, with all of these outfits that you've seen, and even her more covered up outfits highlight her beautiful assets. The reason why so many people have been praising Stellar Blade and how sexy the characters are is because, yes, it is what a lot of people would deem is risky in this day and age, because we know when female sexuality is highlighted in video games, there are always going to be people who are going to try to cancel the developers and get the game altered. And unfortunately, we have seen that happen time and time again. But it says some people explicitly want Stellar Blade to be a gallery of shiny heinies, while others are put off by the bizarre masculine chest beating over Eve's design and have dismissed her as a senseless backward titillation. I haven't seen anybody going crazy over Eve's designs, right? I've seen a lot of fans saying a lot of positive things and voicing how happy they are with her designs, but I haven't seen people be like weirdly obsessed with Eve. And of course, I've been talking so much about Stellar Blade and all of the designs, with which of course I've been so happy to do, but the reason why I really wanted to highlight this article from Games Radar is because they are saying that sex appeal in this game is bad and that ultimately the sexy outfits hurt the game's story. But not even that long ago, December 1st, 2023, Austin Wood, the same person who put up this Stellar Blade hit piece, had said the Baldur's Gate 3 patch notes didn't mention the most important change, but players sure found it: penis physics. So it is completely okay for them to highlight and praise penis physics in video games, but not breast and jiggle physics, and not attractive female characters being in scantily clad armor. This just highlights the pure hypocrisy of journalists and of Games Radar. And again, we as fans have learned over the past few years not to trust game journalists, not to really listen to what they have to say, but when there is this blatant hypocrisy, it is very important to call it out. And I am not in any way, shape, or form attacking Baldur's Gate 3. I am only here to highlight the problems with the state of video game journalism. Gamergate 1 started because people wanted to have a discussion and bring light to ethics in video game journalism, and articles like this just prove that things truly have not changed over the past few years, and these individuals are not trying to actually get any better. They're not actually trying to represent the majority of gamers. They simply want to put their opinion into the world, and that, at the end of the day, is all they care about. People loved Baldur's Gate 3, which I think is fantastic, but people also have a right to love Stellar Blade and the incredibly sexy outfits in the game. And no, these sexy outfits do not hurt the game's story at all whatsoever. But instead of simply praising the game for what it is, this activist has decided to show their blatant hypocrisy and attack Stellar Blade and also attack Eve. Of course, again, I will be streaming the game over release weekend. I am very excited, even though I am a little bit worried about some of the news that is spreading across social media, some of the rumors that are spreading across Twitter/X. I will be keeping my eye on those, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.